It's me. It's totally Tuesday. We're here for our manifestation oracle reading. I hope y'all have had a good day. I have. It's around midnight. I am just coming in from work. I had a pretty good shift. It was fairly quiet night at the restaurant, but I was able to get a table of what I call my strip club meals. My strip club meals. And what that is when I have a large group of businessmen come in to eat. And I'm just like, steaks and bourbons all around. I'm like running at like the reserve bourbon list and stuff. And they did not get reserve bourbon, but they did order well. They ordered like every appetizer and like a million sides and all that. So it was like the dream table. And then it was pretty low key. I did, however, they started like kind of all ordering out of turn, and so I was trying to keep up with it, but then there were like blank seats because a couple of them didn't show up. And so I ended up accidentally ringing in an extra steak, and it was like the second most expensive steak on the menu, and they all got it. Like I like featured it to them, and like it was explaining that and talking about it to them, and they're all like, well, we all want, they're all gonna get it. So I ended up getting an extra one in there by accident, and so I ended up having to buy it because it was like totally my mistake. It was expensive steak, but it was good because now I get a steak. And it was so funny because I was just thinking the other day how much I was craving a steak. I hadn't had one in a while, so a manifestation. And you guys, I don't know if you guys are regulars around here, but you might know that I manifest a lot of food. I'm pretty good at manifesting snacks pretty easily. And we at the beginning of the night, my coworker was like, I feel good about good snacks tonight, guys. We're going to get good snacks. And I was like, I'm naming and claiming some bottles of wine out here. And then, so I got my steak. And so that was my snacks. And then lo and behold, there were like leftover, like the ends of bottles of wine from like private parties where we have to like pour their wine and stuff for them and they leave, and like the ends of the bottles, we can't sell them. So like they're just up for grabs at the end of the night. I was like, the manifestations have come to pass. It has happened. It is all happening. So that was a pretty good night. But we're not really here to go on and on about my evening, although I feel like that's part of my warm-up shtick on our late show here. I got to do my opening monologue, tell you about how I've embarrassed myself or failed miserably for the day. And then we get into it. So let us choose 4 cards from Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. This particular oracle is out of print, and it is particularly focused on manifestation themes. In fact, a lot of the decks that I use on this channel, come to think of it, are rare or out of print, or that you can't get all the time. They only have them in certain like printings or whatever. So that is one benefit from watching our readings, is you get to enjoy these decks even though you might not be able to buy the originals. Sometimes there's bootleg copies, but they're not as good and they get kind of whack, so I wouldn't, but you could probably find some on Etsy maybe. All right, you guys, so what do we need to know in regards to that thing that we're trying to manifest right now? You may have several little things on your plate, or you might have one big major, or a big major and several smalls. But I feel like this is going to be geared toward the thing that's like nearest and dearest. And you might have a couple of those, but I think that you will know what the message pertains to when it comes out. All right, what do we need to know about going forward and taking proactive steps towards our manifestation so that we can expand into our potential and overcome our shortcomings? 4 cards to tell us the story this week. To guide us for the best manifest advice on how we should approach our dreams. Ooh, dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself. See yourself succeeding. I believe that was a theme that came up in our monthly, it was either the full moon reading or the new moon reading. But I remember there was a continuing theme, and it was like, you dream bigger. Like, it might have been our manifestation reading recently, but this is a reoccurring theme, that the only thing that is like really slowing us down now is that we're thinking too small. We're dreaming too small. Synchronicity. I love it. Okay. So we have dream big, let go of small thoughts about yourself and see yourself succeeding. Just have confidence and visualize yourself going through the motions. Even Olympic athletes do that. They actually visualize themselves going through their routines and training and all that stuff. And the body, the way that the brain works, the nervous system doesn't know the difference between what's been visualized and what's actually been lived out. And so it kind of creates like that muscle memory, and it's like, it counts as practice. And so we are, and even scientifically and physically, in this 3D world, in this mundane space, our thoughts are very powerful, and they have an effect on our performance. So dream big and imagine yourself actually succeeding, like even beyond what you can dream of. See how far you can push yourself. See how far you can imagine, like, the opulence, the success, the positive effect you have on mankind. Go big or go home. And then synchronicity. I love this. This is so like 1980s Miami, like Magic. I love it. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. And so one thing that, like, our spiritual support, our angels, I think that God is just like this living, not just this, but like is the living force within everything, everywhere. And that's not the limit of what God is, but it's just one of the expressions, one of the ways that God shows up and is peeking through, all of this stuff. And so I think that when the heavenly hosts and our spirit team and all of the energies and like ancestors and passed over loved ones and all the people that help watch over us, and the angels and all of the characters, I think that they can move parts and pieces in this world to show us things. And they can use that power. And if we're noticing, then we start to see patterns and clues and hints. And if we can just get over feeling stupid, like that, like, oh, why would that, like, if you're just like, whatever, I'm a crazy whimsical woo-woo, fine, I accept that, I embrace it. Then it's like, okay, all right, so I'm starting to notice, these things that keep standing out, and there's a theme here, and you might, start associating certain signs with certain things. But I will tell you, the pitfall of this is that if you're hoping for a sign and you're looking for a sign, then you can make things a sign when they're not. And you can just try to be seeing something everywhere. So it kind of does boil down to being honest with yourself. But if something kind of catches you by surprise and hits you, I mean, like, when you're like trying to like if my sign is a shell and I'm like, oh, Shell station, still Shell station, and it's the same one that I drive past every day, it's like, that's like not really a sign, but when like something like stands out like crazy, like a truck driving by and it has like something written on it that's like, just for you, and you're like, oh my God, I was just thinking about, you'll see them. But watch for the synchronicities. If you have repeating animal sightings or like bird sightings, or if you keep seeing like kind of the same thing, nature things over and over again, you might want to look up in Ted Andrews' Animals Speak. is a good reference to look up to see what the animal meanings are. And that will give you some guidance about like what the message is that's coming through. And I think that the more that you play with spirit in that way, you start building a lexicon together, and it's like you have this whole language that you play with, and you talk, you're able to like interact with your angels and your spirit guides and your higher self and the Holy Spirit, those, it's just all that influence is moving through this world that is just in service to that, the higher realms. So, all right. And okay, we've got Dream Big and Synchronicity. What is next? Friendship. Make a date for a play day with one or more friends. Is the waterfall? I see a waterfall in the background. I've been wanting to go on a waterfall hike. Me and my BFF have been meaning to do that as well. But yeah, if there's someone that you've been wanting to get together and have an adventure with, maybe this is a good week to do that. When we play and when we go out and like we hang out with friends and we like take time to just like let our guard down and not think about all the things that we need to be doing, and we just let ourselves let go and have fun and put our mind on other things and relax, that's usually when we get the most inspired ideas and inspiration and motivation. That's how, a lot of times we refill our tank. That gives us, the excitement, the drive, the passion, and the ideas that come up that are, that pertain to those manifestations and dreams. So go have fun. Do something fun. Y'all, I'm serious. Okay, we just finished friendship, and I was like, go play, have fun. Playtime. I don't know why I'm surprised. I'm out here like, hi, I'm a psychic. I'm reading oracle cards. And I'm like, oh my God, look, it's such a coincidence. Synchronicities. We're dreaming big, people. We have friends. I promise. We have friends. Playtime. The dolphins know the importance of playing as joy creates miracles and manifestation. Ooh, what you know about it? What you know about it? Okay, so you heard it here first, folks. Playtime fuels the manifestation energy, right? You want to be playful, light, feeling certain and unattached and like no friction and resistance. You're not gripped with anything. You're not like attached to anything. Just go have fun and be in the pleasure and company of friends. Go on a fun adventure. I'm really wanting to go to like a swimming hole and a waterfall. I think that's what I'm going to try to do soon. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you have a good day tomorrow or today, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, I'll see you again in a few hours, I guess. Y'all be good. Not too good. Ciao.